Sundays. Family Love, your source for the news.
Welcome to the News Hour.
Good afternoon, family member, and welcome to the news. Be more responsible, stop killing the environment, stop pipeline vandalism, and indiscriminate disposal of all kinds of waste. I am Victor Peter with the news. In the highlights, Senate Defense Boss preaching bill amid public outcry. Reps uncover 29 allegedly forged official documents linked to PFIPC and its self-acclaimed Director General. Governor Siminalayi Fubara reaffirms commitment towards speedy execution of Oyorokoto Beach Resort project. Plus, wildfires drives over 300,000 from homes in France and Spain. Details coming up shortly. Thank you for joining us on the news. We begin with the report that the Senate has clarified that the controversial provision prescribing penalties for preaching, hawking and trading inside commercial vehicles is not a fresh attempt to outlaw religious activities or street evangelism, but a long-standing provision of the Federal Road Safety Commission Act that has been enforced since 2007. The clarification follows widespread public outrage over the passage of the Federal Road Safety Course Amendment Bill 2026, which proposes a 50,000 naira fine for anyone convicted of hawking, trading or preaching inside commercial vehicles. The proposed legislation, which forms part of a broader review of the FRSC Act aimed at strengthening road safety enforcement and reducing road crashes, sparked criticism from Christian bodies, opposition parties, civil society groups and members of the public, many of whom argued that the provision was insensitive amid rising unemployment and worsening economic hardship. In a statement issued on Monday, Leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, clarified that the contentious provision had been misrepresented, insisting that the amendment neither introduced a fresh offense nor sought to prohibit preaching in public places. In another development, the federal government has launched the human resource models of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, introducing a fully digital platform that will automate staff postings, promotions, leave applications and other personal processes across the federal civil service. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, said the new platform marked a major milestone in the government's drive to build a modern, efficient and technology-driven public service in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Speaking at the official IPPIS go-live ceremony in Abuja on Monday, Wilson-Jack said the platform would replace manual human resource processes with an integrated digital system covering the entire workforce life cycle. The head of service explained that the platform would handle biometric enrollment, onboarding, payroll administration, employee mobility, human resource processes, reporting and data analytics across the 508 ministries, extra-ministerial departments and agencies currently on the IPPIS platform. The federal government has called on South Africa, insisting that those responsible must be identified and prosecuted. It also emphasized that every foreign resident is entitled to equal protection under international law, urging the South African authorities to strengthen measures against xenophobic violence. The appeal was made on Monday in Abuja during talks between Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Enikanolaye, and South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola. Lamola was in Nigeria as the special envoy of President Cyril Ramaphosa, delivering a message to President Bola Tinubu that reaffirmed the long-standing ties between the two nations. Speaking at the meeting, Enikanolaye recalled Nigeria's contribution to the anti-apartheid campaign, as well as its role in the establishment of the African Union and the new Partnership for Africa's Development. Still on the state of the nation, the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the activities of the purported Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council PFIPC yesterday said it had uncovered at least 29 allegedly forged official documents linked to the fake agency and its self-acclaimed Director General Adeniyi Adeyemi Matthew. Committee Chairman Yusuf Gagdi, who disclosed this during the appearance of the Accountant General of the Federation, Shamsuddin Ogunjimi, before the panel said the committee was previously questioned top government officials, including the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, and the Director of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, as part of its investigation. Gagdi's investigation had uncovered forged documents purportedly issued by the State House, the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, or SGF, the Federal Ministry of Finance, and other government institutions. Among the documents was one allegedly bearing the forged signature of the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. The committee directed the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Disu, to produce a DME before it by noon tomorrow. Here in Rivers State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara has reaffirmed his administration's commitment towards speedy execution of the Oyorokoto Beach Resorts project, pledging to ensure that it is fully developed to make Rivers State a tourism hub in Nigeria. Governor Fubara made the pledge during the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between the federal government and the Rivers State government to advance the Renewed Hope Cultural Project, an initiative of the federal government designed to expand the creative economic sector in the country. He disclosed that in the last 3 years, the Rivers State government had invested a lot of resources in expanding the tourism sector in the state because of its desire to develop leisure sports, create jobs, and diversify the local economy.
We have invested in expanding the tourism center of Rivers State. If you are aware, some months ago, the project for the new tourist beach, which we had a joint partnership with Landmark, they've already started their work, and from what they promised, that by this December, the first phase and for open use of that place will
Governor Fubara, who observed that infrastructural development is not just about building roads, bridges and hospitals, but also about building an economy for entertainment and relaxation, cited an example of advanced nations where their economies are not just boosted by the good roads, but also by the hospitality industry they have created to provide comfort and relaxation to tourists.
What are we talking about? It's not just about building roads, it's not about building hospitals, but building economy for entertainment, economy for relaxation. Europe today is not the road that are giving them money. Dubai is not the road that are giving them money. It's the hospitality that they are providing. Without it, if not for this crisis of Iran, everybody, the closest destination that everybody is yearning for.
In her remarks, the Minister of Arts, Agriculture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, described the project as timely, adding that it is in line with the desire of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to ensure collaboration between the federal government and the various states on expanding the creative industry in the country.
What you have already done in the area of art, culture, tourism and the creative economy has been very vast. And Mr. President wanted us not to work in silos, but to work together with the different subnationals to see how we as the federal government can support all the efforts that you're doing in the states. We have already been to a few states, but I said the vision that we have to share partnership and collaboration with the states is not complete if the federal government does not sign with River State. Of course, it's one of the low-hanging fruits. So I'm very glad today that we signed this MOU.
And just before the break, no fewer than 23 inmates at correctional centers in Rivers State have regained their freedom following a jail delivery exercise aimed at decongesting custodial facilities across the state. Of the 23 inmates released, 18 were freed from the Port Harcourt Correctional Center, while 5 regained their freedom from the Ahoda Correction Center after the cases were reviewed by magistrates. The Chief Registrar of the Rivers State Judiciary, David Ihua Maduenyi, disclosed these in a statement dated July 24, 2026, noting that the exercise was conducted on July 22nd. According to the statement made available to journalists in Port Harcourt on Monday, the jail delivery exercise was carried out on the directive of the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Chibuzo Amadi. The statement noted that the exercise marked the first phase of the 2026 prison decongestion program, adding that the judiciary would continue periodic case reviews to protect the rights of detainees and promote access to justice across the state. You're listening to Family Love FM News. The news continues in just a moment. Still to come, Nigerian Naira records depreciation against US currency, plus other stories. Please stay with us.
Stay up to date with the biggest news and current affairs from the local, national and international scene on Family Love 97.7 FM Port Harcourt. Listen to the news at dawn at 6:30 a.m. The news at noon at 6 p.m. The news on weekends at 12 noon and 6 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. Family Love, your source for the news.
Many thanks for staying with us, and now to the rest of the news. In business, the Naira recorded a slight depreciation against the US dollar at the official foreign exchange market, beginning the week on a negative note on Monday. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, showed that the Naira marginally weakened to 1,362 Naira 21 kobo per dollar on Monday, from 1,362 Naira 9 kobo per dollar on Friday. This means the Naira depreciated by 12 kobo against the dollar compared to the 1,362 Naira 9 kobo recorded on Friday. Meanwhile, at the black markets, the Naira remained unchanged at 1,410 Naira per dollar on Monday, the same rate recorded at the close of last week. And on the foreign scene, firefighters are battling massive wildfires in France and Spain as a fresh heatwave pushes temperatures close to 40 degrees Celsius, forcing more than 300,000 people from their homes and destroying hundreds of properties. The worst hit area is France's Gironde region near the city of Bordeaux, where wildfires have burned more than 42,000 hectares of land and destroyed at least 240 homes. Authorities say it's about 220,000 people have been evacuated from the region as firefighters struggle to contain the fast-moving blaze. French President Emmanuel Macron, who visited the affected area on Monday, described the fires as the country's toughest since the Second World War. And in sports, FIFA on Monday officially announced that Cape Verde defender Sidney Lopes-Carroll's stunning long-range strike against Argentina has been named the best goal of the 2026 World Cup tournament held in the United States, Mexico and Canada. The World's Football Governing Body disclosed these in a post via its website on Monday. You recall that Argentina faced Cape Verde in the World Cup round of 32. The match ended 1-1 after 90 minutes, and Argentina eventually went on to win 3-2 in extra time to progress to the round of 16. His goal ensured Cape Verde equalized once again at 2-2 against Argentina. That's a package for you, family member. Before we go, here are the main points. We told you that Senate has defended Boer's preaching bill amid public outcry. You also heard that Governor Siminalayi Fubara has reaffirmed commitment towards speedy execution of Oyo-Rokoto Beach Resorts projects. We also brought you the report